So can we get a big old clear sound bite? Can we get a big old fucking
I'm prepping my mouth.
we need you to say the catchphrase. Can we get a big old egregious?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a big old egregious coming from you?
That shit is egregious. You cut my soundbite off there at the end with your laugh. Dead or Alive 6 lays out its initial $93 season pass.
It's $100 Canadian. It's $103 Canuck
That's stupid, man.
in Canadian
And
Canuck bucks.
Also, that is the initial season pass.
Okay, so we need a little history lesson on this one. Thankfully, Destructoid lays it out, but just in case any of you forgot,
You tell that history lesson, I'm going to empty my bladder. Excuse me.
when we booted this game up for fisticuffs, it was one of the first fisticuffs ever. It was within like the first 10 or so episodes. We went and found, after I want to say a solid hour and 20 minutes, 40 minimum 50 minutes, maximum an hour and 20 or 30 were spent updating patch after patch, update after update of costumes, because by the end literally hundreds of costumes were added to the game. Right? Every girl had multiple bikinis, and the multiple bikinis resulted in gigs and gigs and gigs of downloading. You couldn't navigate the store for content if you were looking for any particular thing, because it would take a while. It'd take a couple seconds to load, not unlike a character creator in the new Soul Calibur, because of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of updates and content and bikinis and whatnot. When you tallied it all up together, which we couldn't do at the time because the list was endless, you got to literally over £1,000 of paid additional content. Convert that to what you will in American or Canadian dollars, but literally thousands of dollars of DLC were put into into Dead or Alive 5. If the game were free to play, I would still be like, really? $1,000 plus?
Well, they're catering to the anime titty figurine market here, but there's a buy-in.
But I have never seen a company put on their fucking Captain Ahab as hard as I have than fucking Tecmo here. Because man, are they whale hunting.
Listen, guys, we got the maid outfits, but then we got the maid outfits that have a different hat. $35.
The new season pass has been announced. It's not announced. It exists. It's up for sale on Steam. You can go look at it, and you can click the button. And it is a $93 season pass. Or if you're in England, £74. Or if you're in Canada, let's check it live. $102.99
Plus tax.
The base game, Dead or Alive 6, with bonus, is $62 Canadian. Dead or Alive Digital Deluxe Edition with bonus is $82 Canadian. That's with the 10% off Steam discount, of course. And the content on its own, the additional content, this is not a premium version. This is just the DLC. Season Pass is $100. So after you've purchased it for $62 to $82.
Do you remember when DOA 5 got its PC port? And Tecmo Koei came out and said, hey guys, please, please, please don't make any, nude or creepy mods for the game, because that would impact its possible future on the PC as a series, right? You know what that really was? please don't learn how to mod costumes into the game, because that's where we make all the money.
Hey.
Like, I've seen screenshots floating around of what people can do with DOA 6 mods. You know, you can change the body size. You want a bunch of big fat ladies with giant ass fucking milkers? Go for it.
Elizabeth should never be seen in a compromising position. Whatever you do, don't do that to Elizabeth.
I think Ken Levine even said something like it's like she's the team's daughter. This is really screwed up. And everyone was like,
you made it worse.
Everyone was like,
you just oh, where did this come from?
I think that was the same interview.
It's like it wasn't there before,
Oh, no.
but now it is. Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Modders that were otherwise completely uninterested
Oh, you told me not to?
are now showing up. Artists that had no stake in the game suddenly have skin in the game. Well, anyway, Dead or Alive, day one. What are you getting for that $93 to $100?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
All right. Thankfully, there's a helpful little JPEG that we got here.
These things are nightmarish.
So the little infographic shows you the update plan for DOA 6 and the Season Pass 1. Season Pass 1. There's going to be multiple. The first one is going to include the Nico bonus costumes, the Neo Tengu bonus costume, the Wedding Out costume set, Volume 1 and Volume 2, entry and victory scenes, which is actually a free update because the game is currently lacking both of those things. Really?
Fuck off!
Lobby matches, because the game is currently lacking lobby matches.
My laughter turns to frustration.
And then in April and May, we're going to get more victory and entry scenes as they're missing, but the new costume sets also. So series and series and series of costume sets. And in terms of actual playable content, Mai and then another additional character are coming out in June. And that's what you're getting.
Fuck this. This is outrageous.
You're getting 2 characters.
This is egregious.
And what appears to be more costumes than you can possibly deal with.
This is the fucking template of like fucking who cares about the game part, just fucking make more DLC.
Well, it makes me feel a little bit silly about BB Tag's pass and how we were going like, wait, why is this so expensive?
It's all the road to more worse.
Because you're looking at like the 20 characters and going like,
Woolie, this is really important. This is incredibly important. Do not feel silly, because this kind of thing is about eroding what you think is fucked up over time.
Right.
This is so bad that it makes you look back at cross tag and go, I guess that was fine. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because you're going like, man, that's a lot of money for the 20 characters, and these are existing sprites, and come on, you know. But now you look back and go, that was 20 characters that you played as in the video.
At
game.
least
This is 2.
I eagerly await this week's Jimquisition.
Now, guess what? Guess what, right? Outside of Mai and whoever that other guest character is, like, yeah, that's all cosmetic. That's all outfits and bikinis and wedding dresses. And it's all for those who really, really care about it that much to that degree.
They need it.
But I don't know. Like, there's just... Isn't there that place that you're supposed to find?
Wait, it exists already? Jim already made it? Fuck off.
Good old Jim.
That's funny.
Thank God for him. Isn't there that place where you're supposed to like look at it? There's a
3 days ago. Yeah.
There's that space in between the and the like. Yeah, fair. You know, so that you have to dance in between with this stuff. Where we've come to now, we've more or less accepted this future of video games, and we've accepted gacha as a thing that exists, and we've accepted loot boxes as a thing that exists, and there's a way to...
Well, that one might be changing.
But they're like, for example, when we looked at how they're like, Apex is going to tell you the percentage and this, that, and blah, blah, blah. There's things you can do to be less gross about it.
Take the stink off.
And that's what it is. And so you kind of wonder, like, is this, like, why is this allowed so much as, like, when you get to cater to just a select group of people, and the select group of people are more than willing to just do that, so you're getting only whales.
Yeah. You know what we're looking at with this?
Why ever stop?
What we're looking at right here is the isekai Blu-ray market.
Right. Yeah.
It is.
Right.
It is what ruined the anime retail market. And
your
entire seasons of
don't
the
be
anime
don't be an apologist. Are you deaf? I'm sorry. What are you? What is wrong with you? How is what I'm saying Anyway, you're out of your mind if you heard an apology in my phrasing there. I'm saying it's fucking gross and weird that you're going to exclusively target the whale audience that's happy to hand that over at absolute disdain for the majority of your player base, who are normal people that are like, I would not mind supporting this game if I like it with 1 or 2 pieces of additional content. But you're throwing all of that out to serve this extremely limited fan base of people that are willing to shell out $100 for fucking literally just costumes and 2 characters.
You know what bums me out about DOA 6 in particular? I feel like we all made a collective agreement with Tecmo Koei, right? And they said, listen, DOA 5, the core of it is I'm a fighter, right? And they tried to do it more seriously. You remember that? That didn't work out as well, so then they made a shizillion costumes, right? But Last Round's a good fighting game.
Yes, it is.
Right? And then they said, okay,
it's great.
DOA Extreme, we're gonna fucking hit the limit on dumb anime bullshit with the gel smear on the titties and look at it, buy it. And I feel, and then the DOA 6 trailer came out, in which some of the characters' designs were like classed up a little, just a little, right? Like Kasumi's, right? I think her new design looks great.
Yeah.
And it felt like the social agreement we were entering in with Tecmo Koei was, we're gonna try and make this a more for real fighting game that can be respected and shown on TV or whatever. And we're gonna we need to wrench those creepo dollars out of the creepos
now,
and we're gonna do it with this. But then someone said, no, keep getting the creepo dollars. Why would you not get the creepo dollars?
Now, 7 days ago, I was absolutely up at bat, and will continue to be up at bat, for the continued existence of creepo.
Yeah.
That's allowed to exist.
It should.
You don't.
I would say.
You don't have to censor that or make that a controlled substance of some kind. There's no war on it that you need to start. There's multiple things here at the detailed level where when you zoom in, you should not then, therefore, absolutely rake the consumer over the coals
at some point,
for their access to the creep.
At some point, somebody said we need to divert resources from lobbies in order to get more Marie Rose costumes.
And this is where...
right? And like, come on.
And so this is where the story turns as it is. Because you're like, wait.
No lobbies, no pre-fight, post-fight, nothing.
There's missing content.
I'm seeing clips of this game
at launch
that look busted. Look, the game looks fucked. Like John Lee on a fucking hill, just calming people as they float down to earth.
Yeah, so, yeah, the idea that you had to the idea that you had features like lobbies and intros
weren't considered important,
that weren't ready for launch, but, and here's the other thing now. So this is what I caught wind of, and this is just, I've seen people talking about it. I haven't looked into the actual details of it myself, but there were folks talking about the fact that the drop rate of costumes in the game initially came out and was a really slow, egregious rate. They patched it to be even slower,
Yep.
so that it would be harder to get that content. And then after complaints, they reissued a speed patch to put it back to the original slow rate of unlocking content.
Well, as of now, it has actually. I saw Austin talking about it. They patched it, I think, today to be 100 times faster. Like, I shit you not, in the fucking title thing, it goes times 100.
So that's the bonus.
That's a fucking knee-jerk response.
That's the bonus buff that was put up or whatever.
That's a fucking the numbers are bad.
Yeah. So
Hit the button.
we looked like the last time I remember we were talking about the lint and pocket pennies you would get for honor
Yeah.
matches.
And they improved that very significantly.
And then they went, and then they fixed that. So, yeah, this is one of those things where you're like, in addition to missing content, this ridiculous season pass with very little actual playable content in it, and just the cosmetics there which, makes it more skippable, I guess, but it's just super fucking weird with the pricing on that. You also go, and if you choose to go the hard route and just play it to unlock it, the game really, really fucking rakes you.
In-game economies for stuff that you could buy is delicate. You have to tune it so that people think it's actually worthwhile to do at all. Or else they won't even buy them.
It's been a long time since the greed has been this outrageously out on display.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad.
So there's no way.
Wow, I'm looking at a picture of a Kasumi in a wedding dress.
That's
and all
Kasumi
I
in
can
a
go,
wedding
wow.
dress.
Marry my digital waifu.
There she is, just for you to marry.
That.
Yeah, it hasn't been on display to this degree in a while, and I want to say that
Feel like death.
the anger is going to be loud and swift, because this is multiple angles you're doing this shit on.
They shortchanged the game over this. If the game came out feature complete and also included this, I would go, you know what?
The story would change if the game was free. If there's a lot of aspects
be like,
to
you know
it.
what? This thing's a ripoff. Don't buy it unless you need to desperately jerk off to all the wedding photos.
I don't want to say if the game was free, because it's like, I don't want to say like, oh yeah, these games should be fighting games like this should be always free from now on or whatever. It's just more like,
I think if this game was free, I'd be rolling my eyes and be like, okay.
But I bring it up because they tried this type of thing before.
Yeah.
Right. They DOA, as just like with Tekken Revolution, they went the route of trying it out.
I think Austin posted a picture on Twitter of like he downloaded a DOA 6 unlock key, which implies the DOA 6 core or whatever is coming relatively soon.
Okay, right.
So it will be free.
Right.
But that will also lock all the characters.
Right. So as a game that has dabbled in that before and has been willing to, then they can play around with it a little bit more. But the combination of all of the above is just not a good look. And holy shit,
No
man.
lobbies, man.
You
Come
gotta
on.
hold the greed back. You can't do this Star Wars Battlefront shit, out the gates like this. But you can if the whales that exist are happy to continue feeding it. So that's the weird part about it. It's not like everyone's getting fucked the end. It's like, no, you don't have to. You can ignore this, but we know who we're selling to, and it's not you. It's these folks. And they're okay spending that money, so we're going to lock it behind this ridiculous thing. They could have charged 3 times that amount.
I'm not an economist, but I do know a couple things. And it is one of my professors told me way back, one of the core tenets of economy or whatever, and it's important to not get too short-sighted, because a lot of people say that the purpose of a company or a product or whatever is profit.
It is
to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer to that is no.
Mm-hmm.
Products are supposed to make money. Companies are supposed to create value. And that is the crux of what the stock market is. That's why Amazon does well, even though Amazon makes no money. It makes negative dollars. But it is so valuable that people keep pouring money into it, right? Games can be looked at kind of a way. This will make a bunch of money, but it makes Dead or Alive as a franchise less valuable overall and will make people care less overall, and it is short-sighted. Nintendo for all their weird-ass faults, clearly tries to make the best goddamn Nintendo games they possibly can. And as such, when a successful console like the Switch comes out, everybody goes, yeah, fuck yeah, Nintendo! I love Nintendo games! They're good! Let's go buy a ton of them! And they make a shitzillion dollars. Right? When it comes to Dead or Alive 7, the conversation is now going to revolve around, well, is it fucked up? Does it suck? Instead of, oh, I love that series. I'm going to go get it. It's short-sighted. And that's what happened to the fucking anime industry. Look how fucked up Blu-ray costs are in the anime business. You want 3 episodes for $90? It's got the true ending to the Persona 4 anime on this Blu-ray. Fuck off.
Hey.
Aniplex.
Okay.
You
ready?
piece of shit.
You ready? You ready?
Yep.
Okay. You press start. You get a main menu. You take that DLC or that store menu. You remove that. You replace that with the word Victoria's Secret. You press it. You enter in, right? You enter into a boutique. You select a character.
That's right.
Right? I pick Christy.
Got it.
Or Tina.
Yeah, sure.
So Tina shows up. She's wearing normal outfit. You're at the mall virtually, first person. She's with you, and then she goes, hey, how's it going? Sorry I'm late.
Yeah.
You ready to go shopping?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk forward, first person view. She's next to you.
Yeah.
And you walk from rack to rack with real outfits and bikinis.
Yeah,
and
real
everything
branded
there,
Victoria's Secret stuff.
hanging on the racks. And you have these moments of like, ooh, how much is it? And then she holds it up to the mirror, and you look at it in the costume, and you see the real price.
The real price.
And then she goes, should I try it on?
And you should try it on.
And then she blushes, and then it cuts to a thing, and then you fucking feed the money in. And then you feed it, and then you feed it.
Yeah.
And then those poor souls lose their mortgage.
That's fine.
Because every costume you buy comes with this fully immersive buying your girl her lingerie
I should mention,
scenario.
You don't need a video game. You can run this scam for real if you so desire.
However, and you just take that, and that is every Dead or Alive piece of DLC. You throw it under that filter, and you let the purchasing process be
so
flowered with this level of pomp and circumstance and roses and fucking glitter.
Woolie, that's what DOA Extreme is supposed to be. They spun it off into its own game.
Yeah, basically.
But then they said, no, we want it here too.
Yeah. We want you to buy another game, and that other game is all these bikinis.
But also get your bikinis here.
In fact, where you're paying for something that is more than 150% of the cost of the game by the end of this.
Yeah.
Because we don't, you're going to get another season pass at some point.
My favorite way
which is going to be at least the same price.
My favorite way to measure DLC and measure the trend of DLC, how much does the DLC cost? What is it as a percentage of the game? Right? Jetstream Sam in Revengeance.
Yep.
His DLC cost, I want to say $15. Is that what it cost?
Don't remember.
Something like that, right? It was about 30-ish% of the game over, but as a completely new character. Game 60, that's worth it. That's totally worth it, right? Pillars, this DLC, the RPG is about a 60-ish hour game. DLC comes out, adds a bunch of new features. You can't really wrap that into a percentage, but you can do it, ballpark it. Adds a big new huge area in a quest. Okay, maybe that's 10% of the game's total content, but it adds a bunch of features and items. What is that, $10? Okay, that's worth it, right? All right, let's look at Dead or Alive 6. Okay, the core game...
Sam was free.
Sam was free? Really?
Jetstream Sam was free.
Was Blade Wolf not free?
I don't remember. I'm just quoting chat.
I don't remember that. Well, shit. Even better example. Now let's take Dead or Alive 6, right? All right. The season pass contains two characters.
Ah, PC. Right. Okay.
It was free on PC. Yeah, you had to pay for it on the consoles, guys.
There you go. Okay.
Comes with a bunch of costumes. Let's say it increases the total amount of costumes in the game by 50%, right? That's a generous estimate. And 2 characters as opposed to like what, 20 in the base game, right? What is that a total content of? Like 20%, 25% if you care really a lot about the costumes. But it costs 150% of the game. That's absurd. That is fucked. That is super fucked.
So do you think that the percentage at bare minimum should be reflective of the percentage of the price?
Ballpark.
Yeah.
Of some. If you buy a DLC that costs $5 on a $60 game and the game's like really long and feature rich and the $5 DLC you bought was a hat,
yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah.
Unless the game is fucking free.
Or if you spent $5 on an additional 5 missions, or an additional mission that's like 3 or 4 hours long, you know, or you do, because you can go the other route with it and be like, Hollow Knight,
Yeah.
where you're undervaluing yourself too much.
I don't think that hour count is a good use overall. I think feature,
sure,
all that should all be rolled in.
Sure.
And just be like, how much more value did this add to the game? Is this season pass twice as good as the game?
Now, here's the question, right? We don't know how many bikinis are rolled up into that number, but we can assume that if it's to match DOA 5's amount, it's going to be in the hundreds. What number of pieces of cosmetic content would be appropriate to be over the cost of the game? Would 10,000 outfits
Well, see, it's really
be
funny
enough?
because we talk about, like, let's take the free example, right? Because that screws the math up. How much more cosmetics per dollar is there in Warframe than the game? Infinity.
Yeah.
Right? The math doesn't work. For a game that you buy like this, I don't know. I really don't.
What's the number?
I don't know. But I know it's gross. Like, what is it? I don't know anything about art, but I know what I like. Right?
Yeah.
And there's also, I think, an old Supreme Court case in the U.S. where it's like, I don't know how to define obscenity, but I know it when I see it, or something like that.
Yeah.
This is obscene.
Because
This is obscene. And not because of the titties. Those are nice.
Because again, if I'm like, my brain will tell you, like I said, you get that Victoria's Secret menu in there or whatever. You spin what you got to spin.
Yeah.
You know how you spin this? You go, hey man, that's like 10 cents per outfit.
Yeah, sure. If it's 10 cents per outfit, holy shit.
Look at the value.
If they say, hey, if that wedding pack isn't 1 wedding costume per character, it's 35. Okay, you know what? That's pretty crazy, actually. But it's not. It's 1. For most of them. I bet it won't.
Or what if they were like $1? Well, that's a value of $1 per costume.
Yeah.
$100, you're getting 100 costumes.
Okay, you know what? Fine. But it's not. You know it's not.
It's going to be a ridiculously large amount. It's going to be the
Over
entire
time.
It's going to be, if we're looking
Season
at
I don't think for
right.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Let's assume each one of these sets is the whole cast.
No, it's half the cast. Costume set 1 is going to be all the girls, and costume set 2 is going to be the guys.
Okay, so you think the volumes represent?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
So you think that this is actually 1 set of costumes, 2 sets of costumes,
Yeah,
and then that's it.
yeah.
$2 per costume, if there's 50 characters or whatever the fuck.
But also, it's like, hey man, you need every costume.
Yeah. It's a fucking just.
I want to be able to respect DOA as a fighting game.
I mean, that's hilarious. That's and it's sentence based on the history of DOA.
I know.
Here. But DOA
There's
has,
a couple of those games that are fantastic.
DOA gameplay has gotten way better with the recent games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and I don't mean because it's a creepy anime game. There's tons of creepy anime games that you can respect. Unius is a creepy anime game, but
I mean, it's just an anime game.
yeah, you heard me. But like this, like the product is like slimy. Like the business aspect of this game is like repulsive, and it sucks.
MyDOAcams.com. Oh boy.